Mike. You can see.
I'll bring a few. I'll bring a few up here.
That's a good idea, yeah.
No,
I mean, that's great. That's a good market.
I will. Yeah, but
If Michael
promise I'll
Fish,
soon. But I
if Michael Fish says just do that, then we'll take it on. That's good. Appreciate it. Jesus fucking amazing.
Still going to take a while to sit in. Okay, we want to man over tomorrow.
All right, everyone. Sadly, our last press conference of the season, but we've got the Vodacom United Rugby Championship winning coach and captain here for your questions. The trophy's in the change room. Yeah,
The design thing you could drink out of it, so there's the news. So.
Yeah.
COVID will be back on.
Mubin, go for it.
Evening, Gogo. Well done, firstly, on the testing URC campaign. If we go 6 months ago, we go back to the Lions game here. You guys lost 37-19. We were probably about 10 journalists, 12 journalists. There's probably about 500 people in the crowd. We look 6 months back, 6 months down the line, we in the final. You guys have won us. My question to you is, I know you've written 2 books. Is this a book? Is this another book waiting to be written as well?
Job, then I'll get fired. Look, it's an incredible story of where we came from. You know, I was in a train outside Venice in that first game. We didn't know what we were going for. Somebody phoned me to say, "Looks like SA Rugby going to pull." You know, there were talk of us being pulled out of URC, you know, and that sort of stuff, and being replaced with the cheaters. In fact, a journalist asked me that question on a train going to. So for us to, it's a moving story, and maybe it's worth documenting it at some stage. Yeah.
Stephen, just in terms of your other career, obviously you won a World Cup for the Springboks, but where does this rank up in your career for this URC team?
No, it's special. I think it's definitely up there, and just the journey we've gone on. Thinking back when we started our home leg, thinking let's just get a top 8 spot, let's qualify for European Cup, and then actually just pushing that goals further and further, and then getting a home semi, and then eventually a home final. So no, this has been an incredible journey, and it's top 2, even can be close to the first, but no, it's amazing.
Craig.
Well done. Stephen, well done. Congratulations. Just on that question, I mean, the Western Province thing is not completely resolved, I mean, off the field. Yeah, you obviously want to build on this European Champions Cup. Does that still sort of nag at the back of your mind and concern you? As euphoric as tonight is, things aren't 100% settled in the field.
Yeah, it's a good question, because by all accounts, I mean, the administration is temporary. I mean, but I think, you know, if you're sitting as one of the potential investors or people who are looking and see the product that was out there today in terms of crowd, passion, the results on the field, and we're obviously going to be sought after investment. I mean, so I think what's helped with the stability, lack of bad news, will make us very attractive. So many people in the professional point of view, there's no question people are going to buy into Western Province Rugby, into Stormers Rugby now. So I'm not worried, if you know what I mean. I know it's unresolved. Yeah.
Stephen.
Steve, when the Bulls scored off this in the 3rd minute, what went through your mind and what did you
No, it's we knew there's going to be a lot of emotion in the first 20 to 30 minutes of the game, and I think the Bulls had a flying start, put us in a lot of pressure, but also it was 2 missed tackles leaded to that try. So it was completely. There was some individual area skills, but there was nothing we did wrong. And then I think, if I can recall, the chat behind the polls was mostly just to get back on task, just to focus on the next job. And yeah, I mean, they were scoreless for quite a while after that. So I think the team with that quick start and actually not getting flustered was quite amazing how mature the guys were, and actually just getting back to the game, getting back to the plan, and then just focusing on that for the rest of the game.
I was speaking about amazing the way that came to territory, even yourself, but you really
I mean, yeah, Steve, it's a fairy tale. I mean, Springbok, Springbok squad member, man of the match, and he was, because we were seriously under the pump half an hour. I mean, from where you guys are sitting in the same area as I said, we were just looking to our left for that first half an hour. We got done in the kicking game. We kicked really poorly. We turned the ball over. And for some reason, we stayed in the fight, probably epitomized most by Dion at the breakdown, you know. But then I still got back 10 minutes, and then we go credit to those players, because we were being beaten up for a while there, and the Stack finished the half strongly. And I think in the second half was really, very impressive. But Dion Free made a massive difference.
Gavin.
Stephen, I mean, we've seen many times at Newlands and over the years where the crowd gets in behind the team. But I just sort of felt like today, like you ever had a 16th man. I mean, they just, once you guys got back into the game in that last 10 minutes, I mean, they just sort of came alive. I mean, how big was that?
No, it was special. I think the faithful, they were definitely the extra man on the field today, and it was properly loud and cheerful and great atmosphere. So no, I'm very grateful for the supporters we have as a team and as a union.
Yes, Nathan. How many questions?
One. Thanks, Nate.
The EPCR pool draw is happening later this month. Are there any recruitments that we should expect soon to accommodate a busy upcoming schedule? Cheslin was in the crowd, so is that signed? Will we make it official now or not?
For him and Victor Matfield. No, listen, Nathan, look, we know we're going to bolster a bit, and we do have a couple of lists, but that's Monday's issue now. But we will be bolstering a bit, yeah.
Then one final one for Bobo, and then I'll start. Bobo, can you just comment on the Bulls' overall defense? There were 3 errors in that vacuum channel in the lineout. 2 in the first half and 1 in the second half. I mean, can you just comment on that?
No, look, I think the Bulls' defense last week was brilliant. I think they've changed quite a bit, which is a credit to Joe, to the Bulls' coaching. They were quite soft early in the season, and they got harder and harder in terms of their front line, and they put us under some pressure now. So, yeah, I thought the Bulls' defense was really good.
Cool, John.
Yeah, it was. Listen, I must be honest. I didn't see the last 3 minutes of the game. Did Marnie kick something in the last 3 minutes?
A drop goal. Yeah.
No, I was there for the drop. I'm joking. No, listen, we didn't hit our straps again today. It was I think it was deja vu, John, because it was similar, wasn't it? Yeah, some of those, probably some poor decisions, probably kicked earlier a few times. In their 22, where we could have scored to put the game within 2 scores, we went way out the back. Marnie to Warwick, and Warwick got caught in the 22, ended up hacking down. So it was a little bit of deja vu, but then he produces the big moments. It's not. I think sometimes we're quite binary. You know, he's either having an off day or an on day, but sometimes you just get the mix.
Virgil.
John, I just want to ask a few years ago or a few months ago, in terms of your performance with the rugby unlocked and Cup. What would you credit your performance to now in terms of the processes that you guys have put in place to get this result?
I think again, I think we're very binary. Like, in the Rainbow Cup, I think we were second. We lost the Bulls twice in the last seconds, and we weren't as bad. We Currie Cup second. We lost the home semi-final for the Shark. So we were never hopeless. And likewise, at the end of this competition, it was incredibly tight. It goes down to Ruan's try at Slanevski to get us the shield. And it could have been Sharks or Bulls at the top. So I don't think we're as bad as that or as necessarily as good. But if I put it down to something, it's an unwavering work ethic and joy amongst our players. I mean, this guy, he epitomizes it, takes notes in meetings, puts everything at training, never complains, great at the pub. I'm sure we'll see something later. And, it's just a really good group. And we got them to believe in what we were trying to do. They put up with my rubbish about Greek mythological characters for 6 weeks.
Next is the correspondent Ashfaq Mohammed.
Oh, yes. Safe travels, eh? Safe, yeah.
Let's see that second half that leader said, I'm really, just keep going and pull the through it. I mean, just on that double, Jake wasn't too happy with appreciating, particularly the breakdowns. I credit your team to sort of, you played the ref, you know, whatever they allowed you, where you needed putting.
On the never say die attitude, I think as one of the special characters of this team, characteristics of this team, I think as soon as there's a bit of care and a bit of love, great friendships, then guys are willing to go an extra mile for you. So I think there's a lot to do with Dobo and his team socials, where the guys actually bond a bit. But no, there's a true like friendship among each other in the team, and you can actually see it on the pitch. You can see it in the at the HBC during the week, how the guys bond and chat and actually care for each other, and then that spills over into the game. So when times get tough, you can see guys are actually working the extra mile and caring a bit, and would do the extra couple of hard sprints to actually make sure the team gets a good result.
And as regards the referee, I actually said when we were down, I thought this guy, you know, from what we had last, compared to weeks apart, I thought he was having an excellent game. I really did. I don't know how you felt him, Steve.
No, that's just...
I thought it was a really good. I don't want to comment because we won. It's tough, but I promise you, in the coach's box, I essentially said, okay, whatever happens today, this guy, he just wasn't having an influence on the game, which is where you want a referee to be. And I think, yeah.
Great, Adnan.
About just beating the Bulls thrice in one season, over and when they've been out today. Just, I mean, awesome achievement. Halftime, what went through your mind? What was the message to the team?
Yeah, look, at halftime, I gave them credit for staying in the fight, because I thought, you know, the way that they had us around the front of that maul, and that Kitsy's there at the sharp end of that, they sort of sheared around the front and ran with us 3 times. Well, maybe there we could have conceded one more penalty, you know. That was very good, and we absorbed so much, and territorially, we kicked poorly, we dropped so many balls. I just said, listen, we're in the fight. You've seen the last 10 minutes what we can do. Let's kick a bit later to try and pull their back 3 up. That was the message half time, and to maybe just look after the ball and try and dent them, just get through some phases. Because if you remember, just before half time, when we actually didn't force things and went the phase with the 2 penalties. I know Marnie missed one, but when we felt to put them under pressure, and I must say, I thought the second half, we probably left some points out there. You know, I think we were really good in the second half.
Gavin.
After the game last week, I asked you if it felt surreal. And I mean, like 2 weeks ago, like before Leicester were blown out, I think you were hoping that you would get to the final, but you probably didn't think that it might be there to make up the numbers. I mean, does this really sort of sit something? I mean, this week must have, because Bulls winning sort of gave you that opportunity, although I don't think you really enjoyed playing in the final. Well, I mean, how do you actually feel? I mean, it just must feel.
I could give you a 5-minute answer, and I would go around in a circle. Absolutely surreal. Yeah, from this team, for what we've been through, and for us, the big thing we started. You know, I think I've said before, we had a mission statement at the start to get Cape Town smiling. You know, and for lots of reasons. You know, whether it was because of the pandemic, because of what rugby had lost its luster in the Western Cape. We were always in the front pages for the wrong reason. People were disconnected from the team through both from COVID reasons, both because we weren't doing well off the field or on the field. And so it's not often in life that you start off with what they call a big, hairy, audacious goal, and you actually achieve it. So it's completely surreal. It's the truth. Because I mean, I said to go around that stadium afterwards, and the people weren't saying well done or well done, Dobbo, well done. They were saying thank you. Jeepers, that's so powerful for us. Thank you. I mean, we should be thanking them, but that just shows what this team means. So to reestablish that connection is absolutely surreal.
Just on Warwick Lunt, noticeable is that with the territorial shift came with Warwick Lunt putting those kicks in behind. Just how good was that for a farewell performance, if it is going to be his farewell performance?
No, this is farewell performance. Yeah, again, I think it was a bit of a potpourri. We kicked too early in the first half. They had three or four, someone's fall back, and we weren't finding grass. In the second half, we started to find grass. So that was very thing. But Warwick, it has nothing to do with coaching. Though. If he does well, I can't claim it. If he does badly, I can't claim it. You never know what's going to run out of the changing shed. The racing can have that problem now. But it's been magnificent for us this campaign. Absolutely brilliant.
Great.
No, but just I guess on that earlier question about the fans and the connection. On a slightly philosophical note, you started a new era at the stadium. Such success. I mean, how important was that to? There's so much sort of heartache about leaving Newlands for rugby fans. How important was it to sort of do something magnificent to establish this as a new sort of home for Western Province?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think that was possible, Craig. So, but we've done it. You know, because I think people have had a fantastic experience. I never thought we would be able to do that. You know, get the experience we have today. But it is hell of important because, you know, when we start next season, people don't want to come back. I think everybody had a special experience tonight. And, you know, I was one of the guys who dragged out of Newlands. And I think this offering can be superior, you know, in the modern era and to a different market, you know, ranging. But yeah, the 7:30 was miserable because you want all the little ones and that sort of thing. But for family experience, this is going to be special, isn't it? So that was serendipitous. Yeah, I didn't think we could do it. But,
Season tickets go on sale 4th of July, by the way. Stephen.
Mike's last press conference,
And the second half compared to the first. I mean, you guys were really craving at the Bulls and so on. Did you feel during the second half that you got this one, or were you down 1,000 deaths? Were you kind of confident during the second half?
No, look, the scoreline didn't make us confident, but we had, to my mind, we were dominant from the back end of this back 10 minutes of the second half. The first half, I beg your pardon. And, you know, we had so many entries in the second half, but we didn't convert enough. So the only anxiety was that, you know, that we didn't get beyond the 2 scores. Because, you know, last time we got here, I don't remember last time they chased the game here as well, and we sort of controlled it. And we were doing that really well until we gave the penalty away 3 minutes, which is when I went to the jacuzzi. Literally did. Because you couldn't hear it.
In terms of your chemistry as a coaching staff, would you reflect on that? How big a factor was the chemistry between you guys?
I think, Kitsy could probably speak better because I'm part of it, but high levels of trust, you know, and I think that's the most important thing. Yeah, I feel sometimes the head coach gets too much credit. I think sometimes get too much stick. I mean, they're a really good bunch of coaches, you know. And we're very tight. I mean, the guys are 6 socially responsible beers later. I mean, they're very tight management, but the 9 noisy ones after that.
Harry.
Yes, John, maybe just 77 minutes of rugby, just 2 penalties. That's what happened after the try. Looking back at the Bulls got 27 points against Leicester last week. So that's probably the best performance and defensively of the season, you know, since the try probably.
Yeah, I think we had a clear goal before the game. We said in that between the 2 15s, that's where the game's going to be won or lost, and we knew we were going to Bulls carry well. They got a good pot of 9 and a good pot of 10, so that's probably where we said if we can stop their momentum there, we're going to have a good shot at actually claiming the title. So a lot of credit to Norman. I think his defensive analysis during the week is spot on every weekend. So he does a great job and giving us like 2 or 3 things to focus on the weekend, and that's what gives us success on defense.
Hey guys, we got Nathan and Mubin, and then we need to wrap up quite soon, I think.
Yeah, this the last few for Kitsy. Even before the first game to now, even if he doesn't have that expectation of finishing 8th or roughly the quarters, can you reflect what were the best and worst times for you in terms of the player's perspective?
Sorry, say again?
Best and worst times
During the season?
Best and worst times.
For today or the season?
Yeah, for the season.
Yeah. I think a tough game for me personally was the one where we had to go to Connacht. That was almost like the start of our run for our goals to actually start pushing into the top 8. Went to Connacht. I think we had an exceptional 50 minutes and then almost threw the game away in that last 30. I think that was a tough moment. I think we came back and really had a hard look at the way we go into the week. And then, probably best moment is when we really started getting confidence was that late win against Ulster, still in the pool stages, the late win against Leinster in the pool stages, where we really start thinking, yeah, we can, as a team, we got that fight to actually beat any of the top guys in this competition. So I really thought if we go all the way to the final, we've got a real shot at winning the title.
Then one on about the game, you guys scored a 57th minute more try, then you get another penalty in the 70th minute, but decide to go for the quick tap. What is the thought process behind that?
we were planning this quick tap move the whole week, and yeah, and we were planning it, and I know like it was something completely different. So we wanted to have a crack at it, see if it works. But yeah, I think at that stage the guys were just a bit too fatigued to actually get that true punch on the ball. But yeah, it's something you can't always stick to the same things. We always create a bit of a new plan just to surprise teams, similar to everyone's try last weekend, and we wanted to try something new this weekend.
Yes, Mabin.
And then Stephen just touched on about the management chemistry. How was the leadership group in terms of the players? How was that chemistry? Did you get a lot of support from the?
Yeah, I think it was the whole year was exceptional, but especially this week, the guys really stepped up big time. Rowan, Moni, Marvin, Salman, Branas, those are actually, I think in their specific departments, they take a lot of control and takes shed a lot of pressure off me. So, yeah.
I think double. Just obviously you lost your late dad, Luca, with Paul Dobson. He was a legend, obviously, in the Western Province. I'm sure he's smiling even. I'm sure you're dedicating this game. Could you just touch on that with your dad?
It means the world to me. I actually had one of those floppy hats at the VP Rugby on it that he wore. I had it on earlier. I hope I haven't lost it. No, it means a lot because, yeah, my dad, so he was a proper man of rugby, you know. So, like I thought last week he'd given us the semi-final, you know. Maybe hang around this week. It means a lot. And thanks for the question. It does mean a lot. Appreciate that.
Great way to end, guys.
Yeah.
Nice one. Thank you.
Thank you, Mikey. Thanks, chaps. Brilliant, guys. Cheers. Thank you.